You're listening to FabulosiTEA, in which we discuss what you bring to the tea party, essentials for the modern heroine.
I'm Caroline from Sparkles and Crumbs.
And I'm Xandra from Fashionably Light.
Welcome to this week's episode, in which we discuss one's fabulous alter ego.
How did we even come up with this topic? Do you remember?
I don't know. I think we just both find it really interesting, and apparently both have fabulous alter egos.
Oh, I think it started with the girl in Gregory Peck's bathtub.
It did.
All the way back in our preliminary meeting about maybe we should start a podcast thing.
Yeah, it did. And it came about because I think I saw an old gossip magazine cover, and there was a kind of a gossip article was entitled "The Girl in Gregory Peck's Bathtub." I was like, she'd be an amazing person. I want to be that person. I want that to be, not even my alter ego, I want that to be me. So this is where this came about. So we're going to be talking more about those kind of ideas and how alter egos can be useful and how you can get inspiration for them. But first of all, Xandra, what's fabulous in your life today?
Well, we've come full circle. So on our last episode, I had just arrived in Oxford, and then we did our Oxford video, which was so much fun. And we had like an actual day in Oxford as well. We weren't just filming the video.
It wasn't just
as you can probably gather if you've seen it. And then I just arrived home in Boston yesterday, so I had a nice warm bed and a place to put all of my things again.
So sleeping in your own bed and unpacking are your fabulous things.
Sure. I mean, I feel like we've sort of skipped over the whole actual holiday. Since my first fabulosity was the airplane ride, and my second fabulosity was the bed after I came home. But being in Oxford was really great as well, and seeing all of my friends and seeing you in person.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, we've been meaning to do an Oxford day for a long time and finally got around to it. Yeah, there's plenty of adventures to be had.
It's true. I really begrudgingly liked Oxford. I'm a Cambridge girl. I shouldn't like Oxford.
It's okay. I felt the same way about Cambridge when you showed me around Cambridge. And what's your fabulosity?
Mine is food related.
Ooh, yes.
So when my friend and I were in Paris for our Galentine's Day, when we were in Paris the other week, we were living on a gorgeous little street behind the Moulin Rouge, and it had a load of amazing cheese shops. And we brought back a load of absolutely gorgeous cheese, and we realised we really liked having gorgeous cheese and like oatcakes and pâtés in the fridge for, when we felt like snacking. And Cambridge Market is quite... What's that?
You can do that? You can bring cheese back from Paris?
Yeah.
You can't bring cheese back from the UK.
Oh, we just smuggled back. Well, maybe. I'm pretty sure you can. They didn't arrest us at the airport for smuggling cheese.
I guess they don't. Yeah. I guess that's okay.
But Cambridge Market's... Yeah.
Go for it.
We made it. But Cambridge Market's quite good because it has lots of little cheese stalls as well in the market. So we now keep a well-stocked kind of like cheese tray in the fridge.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And it just makes us feel a bit more French.
It's so simple. Just cheese on crackers or bread. There's a really nice cheese shop in the Covered Market in Oxford as well. So I got some really nice goat's cheese. And we put it on some leftover sandwiches. It was really yum. And I can eat goat's cheese.
Woo!
Yay!
Basically, my fabulous tea today was just cheese. There you go.
Fair enough. I think a lot of people would endorse that. Cheese is one of those things that has quite a magnificent following across the world.
Well, I guess me trying to be slightly more French, which is quite hilarious, probably leads us nicely into alter egos.
Cheese girl.
Cheese girl.
Well, I guess like being more French is an alter ego, sort of. Yeah. So for some reason, when we think alter egos, the first thing that I think popped into both of our heads was Sasha Fierce.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know a bit more about that than I do?
So I had a bit of a Google on Sasha Fierce. So this is Beyonce's alter ego. And she said back in 2008, I have someone else that takes over when it's time for me to work and when I'm on stage. this alter ego that I've created that kind of protects me and who I really am. So she says she's quite actually a shy person in real life, apparently. So when she goes on stage and does these larger-than-life performances, she channels this incredibly outrageous, overconfident character. And then, it's quite creepy.
Okay.
Where is it? In like 2010, she said she killed her.
Oh my god.
She said, Sasha Fierce is done, I killed her. I don't need Sasha Fierce anymore because I've grown and now I'm able to merge the two. And actually, it's really funny. When you Google Sasha Fierce, a load of articles come up about, like, demon possession.
Really?
And how Sasha... Yeah, like, weird Christian websites about how Sasha Fierce is a demon.
Okay. That's strange. I didn't know that about... I didn't know that about... in which we discuss one's inner demon.
Demons. It's not very fabulous.
Yeah. Oh, but that's like his Dark Materials.
Oh yeah, it could be a good thing.
It could be a good demon. It could be a fluffy animal.
An adorable animal.
Yeah. And that's well, I think that's a little too off topic because it's another episode in itself. Could do a whole thing on Patronuses and demons. I'd have to think about it.
That's so an episode. Let's do that. Sorry, everyone, getting ahead of ourselves.
Coming soon. Yeah, Sasha Fierce. I was surprised to hear that she had an alter ego because Beyonce seems like enough of an alter ego, but I guess that's like your normal name.
Well, she's now got another alter ego, which is Beyonce.
Oh yeah.
For her latest album that she revealed, and apparently, like, I was reading about it, it's like Beyonce's style is more ghetto fabulous than Sasha Fierce, so she obviously can't quite get over having a kind of fabulous character to play on stage.
Well, it works. It works for her.
It does. God.
I think it's a good thing for anybody, really. I mean, most of us aren't, Harry Potter with one goal in mind to defeat Voldemort, so we have lots of different interests and wear different hats. I mean, even Beyonce, who's like superstar pop singer, has different shades of that within her alter egos, and that seems to be a really effective way of manifesting those things for her.
Yeah, I think you're right. And so I suppose the other major thing that comes to mind when you think of alter egos is superheroes. Clark Kent. Superman. So Superman is not your favourite superhero?
Well,
is this true?
No.
How can this be?
Well, actually, my favorite superheroes are probably the Powerpuff Girls, but they don't really have an alter ego, do they? I think they're just always the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Yeah, so they don't count in this discussion. I like Spider-Man, and I'm hesitant to sort of declare an allegiance with any superheroes because I'm relatively new to the genre and appreciate that there's so much legacy behind it, and like all of the different comic books and films and new films. So I'm not too serious about it, but I like the idea of Spider-Man being this nerdy, unassuming guy, and then actually secretly being a superhero.
Mm.
Yeah.
Let's say with Batman, like especially in the Batman, like the latest kind of Dark Knight movies, Christian Bale's quite good at playing an absolute jerk. During Bruce Wayne, he just comes across. There's that scene. Oh, I think which one is it? The one with the Joker in. Just the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And he gets in, like, he's in a car race trying to stop this person dying and stop this disaster, and manages to stop this happening, and I'm not able to explain it very well, and the police kind of sort of like, Bruce Wayne, you realise you just saved this person's life, and he's like, what, really? I was just trying to skip a red, I was speeding, thanks for not giving me a ticket, and like just makes himself look like a complete jerk, so you'd never guess it was him, which I think is quite clever.
Yeah, that is clever. It's pretty cool the sacrifices the superheroes have to make in order to
in their personal
maintain
life.
their crafts.
Well, I suppose maybe this is where, I don't know, the Sasha Fierce been a demon thing kind of fits in the way that an alter ego, especially in the latest Batman movies, does seem to consume people and change their actual real character, if that makes sense. So, see, I'm really simplistic. I just love Superman. I just love that
It's classic. He's classic.
It's not just because of Henry Cavill.
Well, most of it is, right?
No, I loved him I loved Superman when I was little. I used to wear a Superman suit to nursery every day when I was 3 years old.
That's amazing.
My little red cape. I used to love him because he was just a goodie. And like, well, to be fair, I also love Henry Cavill. And he said in an interview like, oh well, everyone says Superman's like really boring and rubbish and uncool because he always does the right thing. What's uncool and boring about doing the right thing? That's a good thing. That's awesome. But I tend to agree with everything Henry Cavill says. But that's actually a good point. That's actually anyone makes it.
That's actually what?
A good point, whoever's making it.
Oh.
It's Henry.
It's Henry.
But yeah, no, I think... So, I suppose we're talking about alter ego as completely separate to someone's... I don't know, I suppose, well, it's not separate to their personality, is it? Their superhero alter ego is who they are. It's actually, Clark Kent is the disguise. And the alter ego, really, the superhero bits, their real powers and their real self. And then...
Right. I think it's an alter ego. It's not an additional ego. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, the different aspects of yourself.
Yeah. I guess. Well, I suppose so. So we talked a bit when we were discussing this about changing your name, which I think Gala Darling, obviously that's not her real name, and we love Gala Darling, our Blogcademy headmistress. She changed her name, and I think she writes a brilliant article about it, which we'll put in the show notes, about how she said, I was applying for rubbish jobs that I didn't want to do, and if I had this name that came to me in my dream, Gala Darling, it would be someone called Gala Darling can't be doing a boring rubbish job. Like, you can't put that on like an unemployment form. You have to be doing something fabulous if you have that name. Right. So she gave herself this name and started trying to live up to it, which I think is really interesting. And also I guess Xandra is not your, I was going to say not your real name. It's like an alias. I've ruined your witness protection. It's a shortening of your name, and you kind of changed kind of the conventional spelling of things. So how did that come about?
Well, I was a very particular child and would always correct people when they couldn't pronounce my name, Alexandra, correctly or fully, or they didn't spell it right. Like, this was as soon as I learned how to talk. And it lasted with me through most of my life. And then I would get really angry when people called me Alex, because I think it's a great name, but it just doesn't feel like me.
It's not very you.
It's not very me. And like one of my friends said, yeah, I feel like you have to sort of be a skateboarder to be called Alex, which is fair enough. And I don't do that. So I contemplated Xandra for a while because I realized that it's just not practical to always call me by my 4-syllable name. And in particular, when I was joining the climbing club at university, I knew that in a sports situation, people are going to want a shortened version of my name. And they're going to call me Alex, and I'm going to hate them, and it's not going to go well.
I won't make any friends. I'll be so angry.
It's very true. Well, I had foresight. So I decided at that point that I would call myself Xandra. And it was a bit of a scary thing to do because it is a strange name. But I decided, sort of like that moment where Gala decided I have to live up to this name, I sort of felt the same way. And when I introduced myself as Xandra, it takes that extra bit of courage at first. And then it's cool to get the reactions, which are usually quite positive. And they're like, oh, interesting name.
And the spelling's interesting as well, isn't it, with the X? It's unusual.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was a usual name. Apparently a lot of people go by Xander.
A guy's name?
Yeah, for Alexander. But I just figured I don't have a Z or a Z in Britain in my name, so I might as well keep the X, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Do you know what I love?
What?
So my full name is Caroline Gellatly, and when I go to Italy, they call me Carolina Gelati, and it just sounds so much better.
Would you ever introduce yourself like that in England?
Oh, I should start doing that, shouldn't I? I think I'd have to pretend to be Italian to get away with that, to pull that off. I love it. It sounds so much more like a movie heroine name, or like a character Sophia Loren would have played. Oh, I did actually. My friend and I came up with a name for my fabulous villain, alter ego on holiday.
Yes.
Which is Fragolina Rossini. Named after 2 different kinds of bubbling strawberry liquor.
That is perfect.
It just sounds so diabolical.
So how does this contribute to your life, having these alternate names that are somewhat ridiculous but wonderful?
Well, in the same way like the girl in Gregory Peck's bathtub, or as you suggested, the girl in Henry Cavill's bathtub earlier. Either would be good.
You have to pick one, Kaz.
Okay, well, it's got to be girl in Gregory Peck's because it's got alliteration.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Well, Carolina Gelati just sounds awesome.
It does.
It's just a great, and it just makes you want to live up to it a bit more.
Right. Do you have any what particular aspects of Caroline does that convey besides ice cream?
I think it conveys kind of Italian La Dolce Vita attitude and sunshine and champagne and style and glamour and jet setting and all the things I love and want more of in my life.
Yeah.
So in the sense that, like, well, with Sasha Fierce, with Beyonce, the idea that an alter ego can embody something you want or need more of, and help you kind of channel that and get that by giving you a. Well, it's how they say, if you want to be, a famous actress, it's this whole idea of intentions, isn't it? You should act like how you think a famous actress would act.
Right. Yeah, it's aspirational.
Go about your life. Yeah. Go start living the life you think you want.
Oh, and it's like dress for the job you want rather than the job you have. It's sort of the same thing with your name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that wonderful Cary Grant quote? I think I put it in my last post about always wearing your Sunday best.
Oh.
Wear your Sunday suit every day. Splendid advice even by itself. So he's quoting a professor here.
Okay.
But it's possible that Professor meant not only his Sunday or best suit, but also his Sunday or best smile, disposition, and behaviour, knowing that each begets the other. So wear not only your clothes, but yourself well with confidence.
I like that. And I think a way of doing that is to tap into your alter ego, or even into people that you admire, like what would so-and-so do in this situation?
Well, so that's kind of thing when people say, are you an Audrey or a Marilyn? People tend to identify really strongly with one or the other, which I think is hilarious. Did we talk about this? Like, Audrey had like a really scandalous love life.
Really?
Yeah, she had like a definite few romantic dinners with JFK before he was president. And so she had a really long affair with William Holden, who was married on the set of Sabrina, and he was going to leave his wife for her. And then Audrey found out he couldn't have children, so just dumped him.
Audrey.
And he went on like a massive bender around the world trying to sleep with every woman he could, but they weren't Audrey. And Audrey heard about this like 20, 30 years later, and she just said, "Oh, Bill." So Audrey was quite a player. She just kind of hid it well behind her very elegant, reserved manner, whereas Marilyn kind of didn't even try and pretend.
What makes those two women stand out is that you can instantly correlate them with a certain type of personality. Right. So Audrey appears to be this sweet and adorable thing, whereas Marilyn is about the sex.
Much more knowing, much more.
Yeah. And it's like what people do with the women in Sex and the City. Saying, oh, yes. I'm a Carrie.
God, I don't know if I'd want to be Carrie.
Yes, I like Carrie from the Carrie Diaries more.
Oh, yeah, you love that show.
I love that show. I hope it comes back.
Well, Candace Bushnell says apparently she says even now people still come up to her and say like, "Oh, I'm so the Carrie of my office," or "I am so Miranda." It's this idea of almost archetypes.
Right. Yeah, good word.
But yeah, and they said like it's always a popular quiz. Which Harry Potter character are you?
Right.
Which character are you from your favourite TV show? Which character from this movie are you? People like being given an additional character.
Right. And that's been really popular lately.
The other day in our office, we were playing Who Would You Be in a Jane Austen novel.
Oh my gosh.
And they said I'd be Lydia. Lydia Bennet, Pride and Prejudice. So rude. I'm not a hussy. I was like, I'd definitely be Emma Woodhouse because she's kind of judgmental and likes matchmaking and...
I think the two of us combined are Emma Woodhouse.
Yeah, we said...
FabulosiTEA is Emma Woodhouse.
It so is. She'd be great on the FabulosiTEA team.
Yes.
The
Oh my
FabulosiTEA.
gosh, we should have her for tea. I just so identify with her because
yes,
I make lists all the time and then don't always finish them.
She just wants people to listen to her advice because she knows best.
She does. We do.
Except for Mr. Knightley, he knows better than anyone. And Mr. Knightley's my favourite Austen hero, so...
Well, then you're definitely Emma.
I would not be Lydia.
You would not be Lydia, although Lydia's a better fit than Fanny Price, which we also got in a different quiz.
Yes, that BuzzFeed quiz. Which Jane Austen heroine are you?
I was disappointed. I love Fanny Price, but I'm just not her.
Oh, I didn't even
You're definitely
like her.
not her.
She's so boring. I would not get on with Fanny Price.
Oh, but
I would not get on with being her.
I think we're getting a little off topic with the Fanny Price.
No, but well, listeners, take this BuzzFeed quiz. We will put a link to it in the results.
No, it's not a good quiz.
But tell us if yours was just as inaccurate. Maybe it's just us.
Okay, we'll find it.
We should find this out. We should Yeah. So please do take this quiz. We will put the link in the show notes and see if it was just completely the opposite of what you're actually like, as it was for us. Who would be the worst Jane Austen character to get?
Ooh, like Wickham.
Oh yeah, he's evil.
Yeah.
Lydia's pretty bad.
But I think Lydia is like more outgoing, which is
Caroline
probably...
Bingley. Wickham's definitely worse.
So what about other books besides Jane Austen?
Yeah, so are there any kind of books that make you want to be more like the characters when you read them? Because I often find that.
As a kid, I think my entire academic career was driven by Hermione Granger.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, because I would go home and read the books, and then I really related to her, and she was like an enhanced version of my work ethic. So I was like, oh, well, I'm exactly like her, so I need to be even more exactly like her. And
so formidable.
It made me even more annoying than I already was naturally, but I also got a lot done. So I have her to thank for that.
She's like your Sasha Fierce, but for academia.
Yeah, Hermione is my academic Sasha Fierce.
Academic Sasha Fierce. That could be the tagline for this episode.
Yeah. And then also, one of the coolest things I experienced was dressing up as Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service for Halloween.
I remember your post on this.
Oh yeah? She was one of my favorite characters of all times, and I decided to just dress up in the morning instead of waiting until evening because I couldn't wait. And I was just like wearing my Kiki outfit with a big red bow, and I had a little Gigi cat with me. I just wore it to lectures, and I attached the cat to the back of my bike, and it just made me really happy because Kiki's really happy all of the time and really friendly, and it just made me a better person. I wasn't like trying to act like her.
Oh, but by dressing up and channeling her a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
Has that ever happened to you?
I did become more like Superman in nursery.
Well, there you go.
I didn't get any superpowers, and I don't think I was a particularly good child.
So we'd love to hear from all of the listeners what your alter egos are, and if you wore a Superman costume in primary school as well.
Or any kind of costume.
Or any kind of costume. Costumes are interesting.
My little brother used to dress up as Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
He was like 4 years old, and he had a little pipe and a little red velvet waistcoat and a tweed hat.
That's really fantastic.
Cute. But yes, and listeners, you must take the quiz. The BuzzFeed quiz. The Jane Austen character quiz.
I really don't think we should be endorsing that.
No, but it'll be funny. We can see if it's like inaccurate. It made us laugh because it was so inaccurate. Okay, Xandra says you don't have to take the quiz, guys.
It's optional.
But it'll just be entertaining if it's as inaccurate for everyone else.
Any other business?
I don't think there is, except to announce the next episode in time for the Oscars. Woo.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Xandra, do you want to do the honours?
Oh, sure. Our 8th episode is in which we discuss getting red carpet ready.
Woo!
Yeah. So in case you're invited to the Oscars, we will get you completely prepared.
Wouldn't it be cool if Julia Roberts listened to it?
Oh, we should tweet it to her.
I don't feel like that might be a bit offensive. It might sound like we're saying she needs the advice.
Oh, that's true. I guess. Well, who wouldn't be offended then? Well, I don't want to offend our readers either.
No, that's true. We'll tweet Julia Roberts.
Yeah. Well, it's just like some helpful reminders.
So, everyone sent in your favourite red carpet dresses as well. Which was your favourite Oscars dress of all time?
I don't know if I had one. I'll have to do my homework.
I have to go find one now.
That's more important than the Fanny Price thing.
So, yes, let us know your favourite red carpet dresses of all time. And we will see you at the same time next week. So, do get in touch, either on Facebook or Twitter. The links are on the main website, which is FabulosiTEA, that's TEA.com. And let us know what your favourite red carpet dress of all time was.
And if you enjoyed this episode, we would really appreciate if you could give us a good rating on iTunes and a little review saying what you liked about it so that we can get more FabulosiTEA listeners out there joining our tea party.
Hooray!
Hooray! Thank you for listening. Have a great week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye!